Hello, everyone. I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Queen's Wish 2, The Tormenta. Last episode, we went down and investigated the assassination of Rasa Elha down south. Unfortunately, we didn't really learn anything new, aside from seeing who was in charge. She's probably dead, although I won't put it past the possibility of her still being alive and just teleported and some remains left in place. But, yeah. We also killed an ice drake that happened to be up here and got a bit of loot from it. Now, it's time for us to head to Jajayim. Let's see here. Jajayim North, Pilgrimage Road, West and South. There it is. You are on the outskirts of Jajayim, the largest city in the High Litha. It is an ancient clump of stone buildings, crumbling and neglected, hiding at the base of a tall cliff. You see few people wandering its streets. Makes sense, it's pretty cold. It's a pale shadow of the prosperous Wild Rose cities of the south. This is where you are likely to find Haven's governor and the Litha's Rasa. You can continue to obey your mother's wishes. Indeed. Just taking a look outside, there's the north edge of the cliff. And we will enter from the south. Oh, I remember that sound. I remember it clearly from one of the other, Spiderweb games. It has been a very long time. I want to say one of the Avernums? Man, didn't expect to hear that. You enter the High Litha city of Jajayim. It is an old settlement. Crude buildings have been built here, crumbled and rebuilt for centuries. The air is cold and the ground is dusted with snow. Few people are foolish enough to spend time outside. The High Lithans are a poor, odd, and remote people. For all you heard of the row growing up, you know almost nothing about them. There's a large stone hall, worn and crumbling, at the base of the cliff wall to the north. That must be the Rasa's hall. Haven's governor must be here too, although you can't immediately tell which rundown shack represents your empire. Hall of the Jajayim Erudiko. Okay, so that's where the Erudiko are. Good to know. We're going to, as I normally do, explore around the outside first. Then we'll take a look in all of the unclaimed buildings, and then we'll look in all of the named buildings. Very thin buildings. Jajayim is built at the base of a tall cliff, which protects the town from the worst of the icy winds. The Rasa's hall is to the north. There's a huge courtyard in front of the hall. This place must be used for significant events. Large crowds of people come together to meet. For what, you aren't sure. Now the broad expanse is empty. Wisps of snow blow across the stone. While you are here, the Lithans hide in their homes, watching you through the windows. Well, mostly. Aside from a few wandering around and the guards. Mist Talker's Hall. Oh, that's going to be important. We'll investigate there eventually. Well, there's the Ross's Hall. We'll take a look at that later. Oh, they have dogs. Pant, pant, bark. Severin's Inn. Alright, we've got an inn there. Good to know about that. Okay, we've got the docks there. Jajayim Mercantile. Oh, here's someone. Trader Demarl. You are surprised to find one man working out in the cold. He is inspecting the piles of finished stone blocks by the dock. Heavy cargo like this is carried on barges up the rivers of the Rokaj. Some of it survives the rapids. When the man sees you, he shouts a cheerful greeting. He's not a local. He runs up to you. Welcome, Prince Reuben of Haven, son of Darmal. My name is Darmal of the Low Daga. I greet you with open arms, clan cousin. Clan cousin? Yes, in the eyes of the Rokaj, you and I are kin. Sort of. In a way. So you are from my clan? Oh no, I wouldn't dare claim that. No, not long before your father was born, our clan split. Still kin, still closely allied, but following separate fortunes. Our clans are cousins. We are allies. Thus, I welcome you as near to kin, honored prince. I would never presume on this to ask for favors, though. Though, part of the reason I am here is to look for help. So about your clan. We are still in the Low Daga. We're stoneworkers and builders, a highly honored trade in our lands, as you may know. We are prosperous, I'm happy to say. Your name is Darmal. I have the honor of the same name as your father. Many in the Low Daga are named after him, the Roe who mastered Haven. It's a very odd way to look at it, but you see no reason to argue the point. Where is my father's clan? Oh, they are outside the Rokaj. After Darmal died, may his spirit rest, there was some resentment against them. It's complicated. They took their weapons and wealth and went into the wilds to the east to form a new city. I should meet them. I am part of the Row. Oh, they will be honored by your interest. Perhaps someday you will, when your current work is done. Darmal, your clan cousin, talks with you happily. This man of the Daga barely knows you, but he speaks with the ease and familiarity of family. That is, of course, how he sees himself. What brings you to the High Litha? Oh, a number of our clan came. I am in Jajayim on business. I'm looking for patrons. High Lithan clans of wealth who wish to buy our building skill. They are always asking for what we can provide. And, well, what we can't. What do they want that you can provide? Good solid stone buildings. Good mortared bricks that keep out the cold and resist quakes. Our buildings don't just bring beauty and status, they bring health. It's cold, you know. What do they want that you can't do? Well, they want walls to defend their clans and cities. Nice, easily defended stone fortifications. However, Haven's law prevents us from building them. Except for your forts, of course. And yet they keep asking. Yes. A lot more recently. The raids that have been happening will make more ask still. It's strange. Your clan needs help. Oh, we do. It will seem like a small matter to you, and I don't want to act like a poor, begging relation. Well, perhaps I can help. I will tell you what is wrong, then. I did not come upward alone. Several of my clan came with me, bearing the ashes of Gresh. He was our clan leader. Now he's dead. He was brought to be placed in the common catacombs. Go on. The spirits are strong in the catacomb. Sometimes they refuse to accept the unworthy, and they must be challenged. Never thought this would happen with Gresh, a proud warrior of the Low Daga. His name is without stain. Yet the Shade turned us away. My clan is there now, trapped outside, unsure what to do. And what can I do about it? The Shades must be challenged. Bravely, armed in the way of the Row. We just don't have the strength. You do, clan cousin. You can help put our leader rest where he should. Am I related to Gresh? Well, let's think about it. Thus ensues a long conversation with lots of lists of relatives and attempts to define eighth cousin. Eventually, you must conclude that you have no idea. The common catacombs? Oh, it is west of here, marked by signs. It's a large tomb for the dead from downward who were honored and honorable Row, but not great heroes. And you need to fight to prove yourself to the Shades. There needs to be a challenge. There can be battle, but not always. The challenger does, however, have to be kin in some way. Happily, clan cousins count. Aha. Well, no idea if I'm related, but we'll see what happens. And there's the governor's hall, with walls around it, as... honestly, that does kind of make sense. I am not at all surprised that the governor's hall happens to have walls around it. Okay. Let's go through. It seems we got 2 unnamed buildings here. We'll check them first. Just a couple townspersons in here. Yep, can't take anything out of that one because there's a person there. And what about in this other little one over here? Anyone in here? Townsperson, defender, townsperson. Yep, nothing of note in here. Alright, let's start down here. May as well start with the Erudico. Erud Oksana. And we've got just... there are private quarters and the like over here. Alright, let's speak with Erud Oksana. This long hall, safely out in the corner of Jajayim, contains an Erudico workshop. It is full of sparks, hisses, little beasts in cages, and foul-smelling smoke. A young High Litha Narud emerges from the mist to see who is visiting. She inspects you without great concern. A visitor. Greetings. This is the hall of the Jajayim Erudico. I am Arud Oksana. You wait for her to say more. In vain. What do you do here? She looks at your armor and weapons. Nothing that would interest a warrior. Humor me? We make potions and salves and alchemical reagents. We keep records. What sort of potions do you make? The potions used to make other potions. We also produce the clarity brew, the drink that brings clarity. We have none to spare. It all goes for the Tower of the Erudico. What sort of records? History, treaties, tales of clans, very important to the High Litha. Why are they so important? We are the High Litha. We keep the deep truth of the Rokaj, and we judge those who stray from it. To do this job correctly, we need to study a lot of history. Arud Oksana is unable to maintain concentration in your conversation. She constantly wanders off to tend to experiments, catch escaped creatures, and take notes on little scraps of paper which then get lost. Tell me about the Erudico. We are the learners. She tries to decide how to elaborate, but she soon gets very frustrated. Go back to the Tower of the Erudico, they are explainers. You produce quicksilver here? The High Lithans make and trade quicksilver. Our equipment here is for experiments. We produce quality quicksilver in quantity at our mine. Or we did. We have had troubles. Oh, problem is at the quicksilver mine, you say? Yes, it has stopped producing. Bad for the work of the Arud. Well, perhaps I can help. She thinks about this. We call it our foundry. It is west across the river. If you offer help, we can pay. They can tell you more. They need to help get the ore. What is keeping you from getting the ore? Monsters. Alright, simple enough. You could be more specific, but okay, sure, why not? Let's see, next... I guess we can take a look in the Mistalker's Hall. Jajayim Guard. Mistalker Yaros. There's an old man sitting cross-legged in front of one of these statues. At first, you think he is just being quiet and reserved. Then you see that he is exhausted, barely staying awake. There's a bandage on his arm. A hearty meal has been laid out for him. When you walk up behind him, he snaps awake, though he doesn't turn to look at you. Haven, he says slowly. I thought you would come. I am Mistalker Yaros. Our master would want me to explain our ways, so I will. I'm sure you want knowledge. Tell me about Mistalkers. The High Litha is the burial land of the Rokaj. It is a land of ghosts. They come to wander or give us wisdom or torment us. Some of us have the gift of understanding them. Mistalkers. We talk to the shades. We tame the shades. Only your kind can deal with the shades. Only our kind can do so and remain under control. Any of us can face a shade. The High Litha has many tales of how badly that can go. Mistalkers can face them. Could I learn how to do that? Yaros slowly shakes his head. The mountain folk are the heart of the row. The shades respect only us. How did you become a Mistalker? I proved myself at a young age. I found a lost crying ghost in the mist. She kneeled to me. I comforted her. That was when all knew what I would be. Mistalker Yaros continues to stare up at the statue. He's trying to make it look like he's meditating, but you suspect he's just exhausted. Occasionally, he nibbles at some of the food set before him. Assistants frequently refill his plates and check his bandages. You talk to the shades. I talk to them. Sometimes they talk back. I hear what they say. I caution them. I learn their lessons. Do many shades roam the High Litha? Not always. Usually they rest. In times of uncertainty, more come out. He looks down at the bandage on his arm. Of late, there have been many shades. They are angry. That is why so few Mistalkers are here. They are all out calming the dead. What do you learn from the shades? Shades are like people. They have opinions. Lots of opinions. If one feels so strongly about something that they return from the dead to say it, It's wise to at least listen. Are all shades helpful? No. Some are dumb. However, some carry great wisdom. If they are angry about the path the living are taking, we must listen to them. Maybe not obey, but listen. Do all shades talk? No. There are 3 sorts of shade. One is the speakers, who we listen to. Once their message is given, they are eager to rest once again. What are the other 2 sorts of shade? They are the old ones who have lost knowledge and speech. They have also lost thought. They are mad, and they must be returned to rest. He looks at his wounded arm. This can be difficult. Then there are the magical constructs who are not spirits of the dead. These can be, well, anything really, helpful or harmful. Hold on. What was your last mission? Mist-talkers do not share our craft with outsiders. Is it draining work? When we talk and learn, it is true joy. When we must punish those who are lost forever to rage, it is exhausting and painful, though there is satisfaction in protecting the living. Do you ever get help from outsiders? Now a long, awkward pause. Yes, but rarely. Only in special circumstances. Though one of those circumstances has arisen, we can discuss it more. You tame the shades. It isn't. Oh, we already went through that. You could use help from an outsider. There is one place where the shades are particularly angry. They emerge from the stone, desiring nothing but blood. Their rage is directed at Haven. The presence of Haven draws them out. Explain. To the west is an ancient fortress of the Roe. Haraximus it was called. When the Roe rose up in the Great Uprising, this was one of their last refuges. Haven destroyed the fort and killed all it found. The ghosts are still there, lost to rage, ready to kill at random and then hide in the rock. I think a Havenite can actually pull them out of hiding and destroy them. You would destroy the spirits of rebels. Not destroy, return to rest. They cry and cry for rebellion. The long peace has enraged them enough that they even kill Roe. This can't be tolerated. How can I draw out the ghosts? Just wander in the ruin. I am confident that they can't resist the lure of Havenite blood. And you just want me to destroy the ghosts of rebels? Not destroy, return them to rest. Though doing this does require blows and fire. If their leader emerges to confront you, you can break these spirits forever. It is sad, but necessary. They are heroes, after all. I don't see them that way. Why would I say that? Understandable. However, they died for what they saw as the deep truth of the Rokaj. In this land, they will always be honored. Alright, another quest. See. Books and the like, but nothing to pick up or investigate. Nothing in there. And this leads back outside. Alright. We'll ignore the Ross's Hall for now. We've got 2 other buildings to look at. First, we have Severin's Inn. Kyron Staff. This man's nice clothes and properly cut hair make him stand out painfully in the inn. He is a man of the gentle coast, eating and drinking alone in a corner, growing increasingly angrier. When he recognizes you, he cheers up instantly. He motions for you to join him. Oh, this is an honor. Such an honor. I can barely... Sorry. I am Kyron Staff of the High Litha, but recently of the Gentle Coast. Here in Jajayim for trade and help. I'm glad for company. I'm not good enough for the Lithans to talk to me. As you can see, I am a Prince of Haven. Kyron takes a swig from his drink. Really? And yet you came up here to this icy waste? You must be forced to be here. I mean, you're not wrong. Well, at least you get to leave eventually. I can't go until I prove a success to my clan. Kyron Staff eats, drinks, and chats heartily. He talks mainly about the problems with his clan's claim and how much he misses the coast. The Lithans ignore him as much as possible, a fact he deeply resents. You seem upset. Oh, of course. I can only take so much. I've traveled all over the Rokaj. I serve my clan. I bring wealth. In return, I get nothing but contempt just because the Gentle Coast knows how to dress well and pay attention to the world. How do the other provinces treat you? They're like something they scraped off their shoe. They're nothing compared to the High Litha, though. How did the High Lithans act? To the mighty, wise, arrogant High Lithans, the gentle coast are the lowest. They think we have no deep truth. They think we are outsiders, not Ro at all. Maybe not even human. And you? You've been to my home. What do you think? You suspect that the other patrons, loud as they are eavesdropping. I'd rather not say. Kyron Staff shakes his head and leans forward. You don't want news to spread that you're a coward, do you? You want to own the Ro. You owe us plain talk, at least. So, our only option is to call them weak and soft, or the only civilized part of the Rokaj. Either insult the gentle coast, or insult the Rokaj. Wow! That is absolutely horrible! There has to be some diplomatic way to say it. I would say something like, I'd say the gentle coast has its own positives. It isn't quite as skilled in war as the other areas, but it is the most skilled in trade. That's how I'd put it. Not the most skilled in war, but definitely the most skilled in trade. There. How's that? I can't say anything about spirituality because I'm not the most spiritual, but that would be a way that I'd put it that would be hopefully respectful to both sides. It would tell the coast they have their strengths, and it would tell the rest of the Rokaj you have your strength. Everyone has their abilities, and it's by working together that we can do the right thing. Not a decision between insulting one or the other. I don't like either of these answers. So I'm not going to give an answer to this. As cruel as it is, I refuse to say both of these answers. They are both absolutely horrible, insensitive, and undiplomatic. I refuse. You mentioned that you are looking for help. We are, and we will pay a hearty bounty for it. My clan has a new quicksilver mine on this miserable peak. The Orivera claim. However, it is, troubled. Overrun. Tell me about the Orivera claim. Like every mine, cave, and remote outpost in the High Litha now, it is full of angry ghosts. They're everywhere, like cockroaches. We need to drive them out if we're going to get proper value out of our mine. The Mist Talkers won't help, so we need mercenaries. Perhaps, lofty as you are, our quicksilver might be valuable to you. What did the Mist Talkers say? They say they will come and help. I don't believe them. We're from the gentle coast. They enjoy it when we suffer. Tell me about the Shades. What do they say? Nothing. They're the old sort. Very old. And their humanity is gone. They just run around and break things. They aren't very dangerous, but there are a lot of them. How did you anger the Shades? Well, just by being there. They're not big thinkers. However, when we dug a new shaft, we did sort of break into their caves. We found a very old crypt. That'll take some dealing with. Goody, that's gonna be a dangerous area. And there's Severin, the owner of the inn. The Inn of Jajayim is a loud, boisterous place. High Lithans are crowded around you, drinking fermented goo, listening to music, shouting, and getting into good-natured fights. It is a strong contrast to the dour, serious Lithans you see everywhere else. Despite constant shouts for his attention, the innkeeper pays close attention to you. He saw the insignia on your shoulder. He knows who you are. It is an honor to have such a glorious guest here. I am Severin, and this is my inn. Business is good. No, normal, I think. Most outsiders think we Lithans are always quiet. Feel no joy, yes? But we are people. We have all parts of life. Some of which happens here. Yes, our people come into town, trade, news, meet with other clans, and so on. Then they come to the inn. Celebrate living. How often do High Lithans come into town? Oh, folk up here stay close to clan and travel is hard. Still, every Lithan tries to visit town at least twice a year. Helps to stay part of the row. What else do people do for fun up here? Oh, depends on clan. Some clans serious, grim, others sing every night. We have many sorts, same as all places. He runs off for a moment to tap a keg. Severin has to deal with constant shouts for drinks, charred meat, and so on. He still makes sure to hover around you. He doesn't want a prince leaving unhappy. What do you sell? Oh, we do all normal inn business. Bed and sustenance. You are honored guest. Your money no good here. Like to see your food and drink. You are provided with as much inedible pub food and strange Lithan liquor as you desire. Everything you ingest makes the locals accept you a little more. I'd like a room. You do not sleep in Haven Hall. We'll grab a bed in our common rooms. Poor for you, yes, but Haven has its own ways. That's all I need. Of course, you are our guest. Heard any rumors lately? Of course. Inns are places of learning as well as rest. I must apologize, Prince. Tradition is still tradition. For knowledge, I need a tip. Sounds fair. You count out the coins and hand them to the innkeeper. He nods. I am grateful. What have you learned? There are long tunnels burrowed under all of these mountains. They are very dangerous, yet far more people are traveling through them than before. Ah yes, the underworld, as has been mentioned to us. Clearly, that is where we're going to eventually end up. Okay, there's a bed area and another bed. Okay. Seems to be all in the inn, and I think there's one more building we have to look at here. This one. The Jajayim Mercantile. Okay. Look around there a bit. I could have taken those if I hadn't opened that door, but oh well, too late. This trader is a young woman, shorter and more heavy-set than the folk of the High Litha. She wears a worn leather jerkin and pants, unusually light for the cold climate. She must be from elsewhere, though the Lithans who come through the store don't seem to mind her presence. When you reach the counter, she says, "Welcome, traveler." She notes the insignia on your shoulder. "Havenite. I am Trader Nadine, lately of Downward, but I've set up a useful little market here. Humble goods, but maybe useful." Are you from the High Litha? Oh, not at all. I'm sure you know that, though. Everyone sees it instantly. I don't have the look. Where, then? Ah, I should change my accent. I'm from the Cranus Woods. I came up here to run caravans from upward to downward and back. I had good fortune and good success, as you can see. Do lots of outsiders come up here to work? All of our provinces mistrust and fear each other. We also need each other to survive. Clans are always sending out the young and adventurous to trade with other lands. What do you think of the High Lithans? Oh, they trade with us. They like our wood, our food, our goods. They also think they are superior to us. Things will change. What will change? Oh, the wealth Haven brings softens us all. The gentle coast might as well not be Row. The Crinus and the low Daga hang on, but they are fading. Soon even the grim folk up here will eat dainties and wear stylish clothes. Gold changes everything. Trader Nadine continues to deal with her customers. She's very careful to not give you more attention than the others. Eventually she comes back around to you. Do you need anything else, Haven? How's business? Oh, it is very good. Much more than usual. The clans up here are stocking up. They're acting as if winter is close, though it is not. Strange. A lot of caravans are coming through here. Supplying them is profitable. I'm looking for a package of herbs that was never delivered to Fort Precipice. You tell her about Sage Rietta's situation. She is highly sympathetic. Losing medical herbs, that can be very painful. Let me check my records. She pulls a sheaf of scrolls out from under her counter and spends some time looking through them. Nothing. Not a clue. However, the herbs were being shipped from upward. They would have had to pass through Etzalam, then here. They did not get here. I suggest asking around in Etzalam. Why do you think that is? I have no guesses worth saying. I'm from the Cranus, so they see me as an outsider. I hear no secrets. Perhaps if I'm here 10 more years, one of them might trust me. I'd like to trade with you. Of course, it would be an honor, Haven. A bit of gratitude for all your empire has done for us. Let's see. Bronze Scourge, Iron Scourge, Rose Sideblade, War Axe, Rudico Cowl, Rudico Staff, Deep Metal, Ice Drake Leather. Ooh, Ice Drake Leather, that's interesting. Is that better than what you've got? It's actually basically exactly the same. I don't know why it's worth more. It's exactly the same, so we don't need that. Deep metal, though. I'll buy that. It's cheap. Cheap enough. It'll be worth it to have. That's all I need. Okay, we don't have anything else. Good. Alright. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Not the stream, just the episode. Next episode, we'll speak with the Rasa and then the governor. Very curious to see what the Rasa is going to request for us. And very curious to see what the governor is doing wrong here. Because he has to be doing something wrong. I have a feeling he's intentionally mobilizing at the expense of everything else. Which concerns me. But that'll be in the next episode. So until then, I am Chester44, also known as Fly. That is Rupert, Elspeth, Terrence, and Patricia. This has been a Let's Play of Queen's Wish 2, The Tormentor. And I shall see you all next time.